but you don't go to the hospital. If you, anything that your battalion aid station and the doctors there can do for you, you don't go to the hospital. And like our sergeant said, if you ain't bleeding, you ain't needing. So you didn't go unless you were, you know, really hurt bad. And of course, none of that would go on your service record like it would if you were a regular unit. And you have to be in top-notch shape, really and truly, because hey, this afternoon we're going to do a 30-mile hike. Can you do it?
Yeah. Possibly. what were you carrying? That's another question I would have. What were you issued when you first went into, you know, when you first assigned to the 29th?
Well, we had a full field pack, which meant that we had a shelter half and blankets and a raincoat. Yeah. It was, let me see, okay, like this. All right, it had a skirt that would fasten on below, that would carry this roll of blankets and stuff. Now, in a combat pack, you would carry your mess kit or meat can, maybe a raincoat, and then you would get, depend upon when you start, if they expected you to be out 2 days on the mission, they would give you 6 of those yummy K rations.
Does it bring back memories?
Yeah, that was like this. They were in a cardboard box inside of this, completely covered with wax to protect them. In that would be a 2-ounce can of food. For breakfast, it'd be bacon, ham and eggs in 2 ounces. And also you would have maybe a pack of cigarettes, 4. You would have some toilet paper, and the lunch was a 2-ounce tin of cheese. And the, well, that was dinner. It was breakfast, dinner, and supper, not just breakfast, lunch. But, and the one at night was corn pork loaf. Yummy stuff.
It doesn't sound good.
Now they have MER's, meals ready to eat. That's what they have now. There's a lot better than what it was. Actually, we were not prepared for World War II because our uniforms were closer to World War I than they were too, because we had these leggings, which are real nice things. Yeah, like this. See, and they go so you wouldn't trip over your pant leg or something. And they about the only new things that we had that they had in World War II was the M1 rifle, the well, a lot of trucks that they didn't have in World War I, and that was about it. The clothing we had. What we landed on the beach was a wool shirt and like this, okay? On this side, it had a flap sewn in about this, and it crossed over the chest and buttoned on this side. Then you buttoned it up just like you would here. The pants were very much the same way, where you had a flap covering this. It would start over here and you button over here, and then you buttoned up the pant. The reason for that is it was all impregnated clothing. It was impregnated because they didn't know whether the Germans were going to use poison gas or not. So it was to take care of that in case it happened. Fortunately, it didn't. And sometimes we wished it had, because that stuff was like cardboard. And, well, I shouldn't tell you this, but from April 1944 to the middle of July, I had one shower. And we were in these clothing, and they didn't breathe. I mean, you were, you know, you sweat. Well, we all, well, don't worry, we all smelled about the same. And it was a funny thing. They had a flatbed trailer, and they had showers on it. And what you did, you undressed and you went upstairs and got on the shower for a minute. Okay, then you finished and came off down at this end, and here's a guy standing there through your shirt, through your pants and underpants, and that was it. Wasn't your clothing, but hey, it, you know, if it fit, great. But if it didn't, you know, it didn't make that much difference. But that's the way we did. We existed solely on the K rations. They had what they called C ration, which we never saw, but we didn't need it. We were tough, boy. Yeah.
It sounds like that wasn't very much food. Is that right?
No, well, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
But usually in my outfit, you could get seconds and thirds if you had a good firefight, because there'd be somebody there that didn't need them anymore. So you would get theirs. But, you know, like I say, it wasn't a fun operation. And we suffered heavily, like I say. And I mean, you just, like I say, you didn't know today might be your day. And hopefully well, it was for a lot of people. It wasn't for some of them. I lucked out. I feel I shouldn't be here because that shell fragment went in like that from my spine, and if it'd been half an inch to the right, I wouldn't be here. And I admit I shouldn't be here, but that's the way it is. And I apologize, okay? And like I say, like so many other of us would tell you, if at our age now, our government asked us to do it, we'd be there. And I mean that. This is my country, and I love it. But I'm sorry.